Didier Deschamps has picked the next French captain to replace Hugo Lloris, and it's Kylian Mbappe, which means Antoine Griezmann misses out. Jules, your thoughts? And tell me first, these two really the only alternatives?
Yeah, I think Paul Pogba would have been the third one had he been fit and had he been playing regularly the last year or so. But because he's not, then there was no Varane anymore, who would have been the captain. No Lloris, of course, who was the captain.
Conte injured, obviously.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if Deschamps would have considered N'Golo just for the personality and everything, and also the.
Is it hard for Didier Deschamps to imagine a short central defensive midfielder winning a World Cup?
As a captain, yeah, you're right. At least he would have related to it, to be fair. There's two things here. The first one is you can't really... I think Mbappe is the right choice. And yeah, you can say, is he a bit selfish? Is he this? Is he that? Maybe. I think he will grow with the armband. That will make him more mature. That will make him more collective-minded in a way. He's the best player in the world. He's your best player. Like, it's not often, you don't always have your best player as your captain, but more often than not, they are. So it's completely understandable and it makes sense. Griezmann was really upset. Griezmann arrived in Paris on Monday thinking that he was going to be the captain because of his experience. Obviously, he's got 3 more years of international football than Kylian. He's obviously much older. He's turned 32 on Tuesday. He thought the bond he has with Deschamps was strong enough. The form that he's showing with Atletico Madrid is great. So I think he really believed that certainly at the Euros, he would be, between now and the Euros, that he would be the captain and lead the team. So I can see why he was upset. However, if you're Griezmann, surely you get to Paris on Monday thinking, okay, I have a chance, but so has Kylian. And surely it sounds like, and certainly from the way I was told the story by his side, Griezmann's side, was like, he was just convinced it was going to be him. You can't just expect something like this when Kylian Mbappe is also a contender, right? And I just think that Griezmann should have prepared himself. Great if I have it and I want it, and I'd be disappointed if I don't have it. But also, look who is against me in this race, and it's Kylian Mbappe.
I think a lot of it depends on the messaging that came to him from Deschamps before, right? Because... And the conventions that exist in France and elsewhere. So, for example, in Italy, it's simple, right? In Italy, historically, it's, who has the most caps on the team?
Yeah.
You, Bob? Okay, you're the captain, right?
Yeah,
and
clubs do that as well. Real Madrid does that.
Many clubs do it that way. I love what Chicha did with Brazil, where he says, like, no, you're all leaders. Like, you guys will all rotate, right?
Yeah.
So then you take the sting out of it. I think the key thing with the captain is it can't be somebody that you drop, right? Somebody who is at risk of getting dropped. Yeah. And I think maybe that's where Griezmann's issue might be a little bit. And maybe if I wanted to give Deschamps an out, and well, first of all, Deschamps should have messaged very clearly to Griezmann before, I have not decided yet. It could be you, it could be Kylian, as you said, right?
Yeah.
And not made him think it was going to be him, if that's what he did. So
we don't know Griezmann assumes it was going to be him.
But I think objectively, I'm thinking like Deschamps. He says, okay, I had Griezmann playing as a midfielder in the World Cup. He's not playing that role for Atletico Madrid. Griezmann's fantastic, right?
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to be fit, who's not going to be fit. Maybe Tchouaméni and Camavinga are playing the football of their lives. Maybe Conte's back. Maybe Pogba's back. Maybe I want to play 4 midfielders, whatever. Maybe there'll be no room in my lineup for Griezmann. And I don't want to create a situation where my captain is somebody, he's dropped the captain.
Yeah.
I'm not prepared to build my team around him or have him be an integral part. It's different when it's a right back who always plays and who never goes in and out, right? But in that role, especially because his role with Atleti is different from the role that he played with France, the World Cup, this is the only out I can give him. I also kind of feel that maybe what I would have done is I would have said, Grease, you're the captain through the Euros. You might not start. You're very important. You may not start. You may not start because I'm not comfortable playing that way for whatever reason. You are not guaranteed a spot. Are you okay with that? And if he's okay with it, then you go to Kylian and say, hey, Kylian, you can wait. Maybe that would have been a way out.
I just think that even politically, I think Deschamps needs Kylian on his side, really close ally, more than Griezmann. Kylian is 24. You've got it for another 10 years. And Griezmann is 32. I think the Euros is probably
you think Kylian's going to be upset and retire from the national team and go all Benzema?
No. I just think you can't lose Kylian in the sense by losing. I mean, if you're Deschamps, you would rather upset Griezmann because Griezmann will come around. And by the way, Kylian and Mbappe and Griezmann had a conversation. They kind of cleared the air, blah, 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 which was good. And it would be fine. But I think Griezmann would move on from a decision like this quicker than Mbappe would. And I think that was also a part of the thinking.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.